our electrical distribution and almost wiped out our campus carpenters and I'll forget what you call it now anyway. And there was an old wooden stands down there at the stadium, and it was kind of rotten. And we were trying to refurbish it for the season. This was in June. And we had some of the posts taken out and things like that, and it wasn't much. And anyway, the headquarters for the Corps of Engineers, which ran the rehabilitation here, was in our Cervix Center, and they hired some people like Bill Coyle, who were experts in structures, to go around and put red tags on anything that was very dangerous. So along come this gang to that old stadium, and they put a red flag on that stadium, and Winnie Rounds was there, of Rounds, and who's his buddy? Bernard.
I can't remember.
Oh, Emmy. Yeah, and I said to Winnie, and he had a great monstrous front end loader there. Give it a hit, I said. He took that damn thing. Thing went down, see? So we had no stands. Well, the governor came here, and we had an office for him during the problems that we had. And I furnished him as secretary. Thanks, Dick. Did you put anything in that? So anyway, and we fed people, and we put them in our dormitories. We had nothing, no electricity, no gas. Marie Jelnick and her husband ran the food service. They got some old 50-gallon drums and put charcoal in them to try and feed people. We set up a water point. We did a lot of things trying to get things back in shape. So about 2 months later, I got a call from the governor, wanting me to come over and see him. I thought sure I was going to get the Legion of Honor. I put on my best suit. I went over there like that and came in and said, Governor, all he did, God damn you, Harvey, you knocked down that good stadium just so you could get a new stadium down there. I'm mad at you about that. So I crawled away. When the budget came out, there was no money in it. But the Board of Regents put in $100,000 for the thing. And when it got up to the Appropriations Committee, people like Bill Grams and Eddie Clay see that we got that $100,000, and we built that concrete stadium, which is still standing down there, about the only thing that's left. I would like to say there's only 2 people in the state of South Dakota that can read my writing. People told me, Harvey, you should have been an MD. Even without any training, you could write an RX that nobody could read. And they're here tonight. There's Bonnie McHugh and Helen Amundsen. There's Bonnie right over here, and Helen. They were my secretaries and also administrative assistants. Kind of kept me straight. I'd lose my hat and things like that. But Bonnie always knew what my route was, so she would crawl up and say, is his hat over there? And usually it was. I thought Ruth Zhilkovsky was going to be here. Is she here? Even the President of the United States couldn't get her off the mountain, and I guess I couldn't either. Anyway. I want to close telling you that old generals are not always impatient. When General Ethan Allen, who commanded the Green Mountain Boys in the Revolutionary War, he was on his deathbed, and the doctor was there with him, and he was feeling bad. And finally the doctor said, General, I fear the angels are waiting. He said, God damn them, let them wait. Anyway, I forgot one story that I should have tell you. I went over to Kennebec at Jim Abner's request to give a lecture, a graduation address. And just show you how well known I was in South Dakota. And 11 people graduated. And it was customary that the guy that gave the speech would shake hands with everybody that came by. And so they would say, oh, it's nice, doctor, to have you here, and things like that. And pretty soon the guy came up, stuck out his hand, he said, hello, you son of a bitch. I was in your outfit during World War II, he said. And I said, if I ever saw you again, I was going to call you by that name. And he shook his hand, and I said, "Soldier, I'm always glad to see an old soldier, especially one that can remember my name." Thanks for coming. Thanks for supporting me when I was president. Except for my combat time, I consider my time at the School of Mines as my finest hour. Thank you. Dr.
Okay, let's get everybody to look ahead now. News tonight?
I'll do a couple. There's so many people I can't see. Or maybe I'm not supposed to.
Everybody try to look around, everybody, so we can get a...
Dr. Fraser.